on like YouTube, so we'll still be able to communicate, but I've just created a quick PPT because that wasn't working out. So yeah, I will just present that in a bit. Just give me 2 minutes. I'm so sorry. Okay, so yeah, so right now I had a plan, but the PPT is not coming through. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take a like auto-generated prompt of the PPT and going to present that. And yeah, so sorry for the unprofessionalness, but that's what we'll have to do for now. Um, just to introduce myself, my name is Avira. I'm a YMUN winner, HMUN winner in, and I've participated in like 10 MUNs, and I've gotten awards in all of them. I've worked in both unconventional committees and conventional committees. So that's uh that's a bit about me. If you guys, since it's just the three of us, if you want to share um a bit about yourself. All right, Adya just left. That's fine. Are you aware if debate matters for German unis? Yeah, of course debate matters for German unis as well. It matters for every uni. So yeah, like a lot of people use it for their college app. So yeah, super excited to go through this right now. Let me just present my screen. Yeah, cool. I'll just share. Yeah. So let's talk a bit about the college benefits of debating model UNs and MUNs in general. Obviously, MUNs account for a lot to your college application and debating as well. And this is, as someone asked already, it's not just for German unis or US unis or UK unis. Again, your college app is about a central story. And if you can communicate that to debate and MUNing, of course, you're going to get extra points that other people don't. Um, yeah. So let me go to the next slide. So the college benefits of like building and doing debate for college. Um, of course, wait one sec. My slide is glitching. Um, yeah. So the college benefits, of course, like include having a network or having opportunities that other people don't. So the first thing that you need to know about MUNs is that you get to talk to people that you otherwise wouldn't have. So like think about this logically. Are you going to meet more people interested in starting a business or becoming diplomats in the future if you are meeting someone in school, or if you meet someone through an MUN? And that's, I think, a point that goes unnoticed for a lot of people, is this simply the amount different people that you meet through MUNs and debating. Let me just try to share again. uh 1 second. Yeah. So yeah. All right. Someone else has also joined. Cool. So firstly is the skill development that you get through doing MUNs and debating. The thing is that a lot of research and analysis that you'll use in college. So think of any college major that you can. Okay, let's think of the medical field, or let's think of another type of or even if it's like computer science or anything. What type of college like major does not require research and analysis. MUNing and debating gives you that skill to do research and analysis. So when you do your interviews, when you give your preliminary essays about research and analysis, which a lot of good colleges look for, you'll be already having that skill development of research and analysis. Secondly, to talk about public speaking and communication. Um, if anyone is ever interested to apply to Oxford or Cambridge, you need to know that they ask you an interview round. And if you pass the interview round, that's the only way you can get into the college. And if you have the skills of debating in MUN to do public communication, to talk your point, to speak with confidence, that can only happen with public speaking communication. I just see someone from my team has joined. If you could please put links in chat throughout the session talking about our Instagram handles and other resources, that would be really great. Okay, to continue, on also is argumentation and persuasion. What is your supplemental FA like essay if it's not just arguing why you should enter into that college? That again, skill development of persuasion when you talk to your college admissions officer, when you get your LOR, only happens through MUNing and debating, and that's why I think it's such a good tool for that to take place. Now, academic benefits for college. So these are like actual statistics that I want to give you. I'll take questions in a bit, but these are some actual statistics that I want to talk about for college, MUNing, and debating. And the first is improved academic performance. I know a lot of you guys are from CBSE or ICSE, but let me just talk about IGCSE, which is the course that I'm doing in. We have a subject called TOK. And in TOK, we're supposed to talk about like logic and reasoning. And that subject, like debaters who have done that subject, like always get the best marks in that subject because they already know how to do logic and reasoning. If any of you have social studies or history, that all comes with just debating knowledge. So there's a high correlation with higher SAT and ACT scores and improved academic performance if you have done debating before. And these are actual statistics. You can look them up online. And furthermore is more impressive transcripts and like recommendations. If you like, would you rather have someone who just has good grades or someone who has good grades and has won 5 6 MUNs? I think I know who I'm picking. So obviously there's like more impressive transcripts and recommendations that you get if you are doing MUNs and debating like frequently. And that transcript and recommendations only come through when you are participating in these events. Furthermore, is just a competitive edge that you get for college applications. So I think we're all pretty aware of the college application process, but I just kind of want to go through all of this right now. Firstly, of course, we're from India and going to an outside college does cost a lot of money. I know when I'm going to be applying, I'm going to be applying for a lot of scholarships, and I'm only going to be able to get that and have a competitive edge over that if I have for debaters. So a lot of colleges offer like specific debate or public speaking related scholarships for specific majors. So that's something you should totally look out for. Secondly is personal statements. Obviously, debating and MUNing and learning about new perspectives, which a lot of colleges are focusing on diversity right now, can really shine through in your personal statement. And there's, of course, an extracurricular value, which I don't think I need to elaborate on too much. Now is like the personal development that you get. So I know we're talking about college benefits, but think of this as a lifetime, because why do we want to go to a good college? We want to go to a good college so that we can have a good job in the future. And having a good job in the future means having good skills to be able to get promoted, to be able to be a CEO or an entrepreneur or whatever you want to be. And those initial starting skills you should start developing from right now, because in psychology there's a very thing called pruning that happens in your brain, and you can only really get pruning and start doing something if you do it habitually and if you do it often. And the more you do something often, the better you get at it. And since we're at a young age, if we start doing these things right now, it's going to help us out multifold in our future. So let's say even if I don't get into my dream college, but I still have the skills in debating and MUNing, I'll be able to skillfully debate with my boss. I'll be able to skillfully be diplomatic in a work setting. And that's really what comes with debating and MUNing as well. Obviously, this building confidence. You're speaking in front of a huge crowd, so you need to have confidence even when you're presenting your ideas in the future. Then there's obviously critical thinking and open-mindedness. Let me tell you, when I was doing debating in Oxford Union, I just went last year in the actual Oxford College. While I was doing there, we had to run while going to our hall and also preparing for the debate. That was one of the most stressful times of my life, but because I was good at debate, I could do critical thinking, I could work while still running at like 25 miles per hour, and that was what I was able to do. Like normal people and people who don't invest time into this usually aren't able to get that critical thinking and open-mindedness. And lastly is time management and organization. when you're in an MUN, you have to prioritize so many things. Let me tell you, I was in a crisis committee where I was running for president. And as a president, and when you run for president, you have to do a lot of things. And that includes, um, I'll take questions in a bit. So that includes a lot of things, including, writing crisis notes or delivering speeches or forming blocks. And when you're practicing all of this, of course, you're getting a better idea of time management and organization that you usually don't get. Right. And then I think lastly, we want to talk about career ready skills. And after I stop this presentation, I'm going to give you some really specific tips that you can include into your college application and in your LORs and etc. That you're going to get. So firstly is professional skills, which is adaptability, negotiation, teamwork, which are essential skills that are valued in every career. I don't think I need to explain this point. But secondly, and I want you guys to note this down in your journal if you are taking notes, is networking and connections. Let me tell you, I have met some of the smartest, most intellectual people who have gone into Ivies like Stanford and Yale, all while I was doing MUNs. And because I got their number, because I kept friendly relationships with them after the MUN, they've given me such insightful tips. We've started projects together. Even the leader of the teen debater, Shivansh, I met him through debate. Like I met him through that process, and now we're working on this project together. So that networking connection is so essential for you, and you won't even realize it after you've graduated. Like, oh, all the friends that I made from MUNs and debate, I'm so glad that I did MUN and debate, because otherwise I wouldn't been be able to make those connections. So even after college, those connections that you make and those LORs that you receive and the things that you talk about are so essential. Let me tell you another thing. When I was in Yale MUN and I won best delegate in the EcoFin conference, after I won best delegate, I talked to my chair afterwards, and now I have her email, and now I'm in close connection with a Yale student. How cool is that? So that networking connection is so essential that you're going to get from MUN and debating that you won't get in other extracurriculars like research. Like you do research alone, and of course you go to competitions and talk to other people, but the networking that you get in MUNs and debates is just on another level, because people who do MUNs and debates are usually smarter and usually are doing a lot other extracurriculars. So a lot of like networking and connection can happen through that. And lastly, I just want to touch on his career paths. If anyone here is interested in law, journalism, business, politics, anything related to that, even if you're STEM focused, like there's been a lot of debates on AI recently, you will know better what career you want if you do MUNs and debates. Now, let me give you an example on that. Before I started debate, I thought I was into STEM and I really had no idea what I wanted to do when I go. And that was really stressful for me, because your whole college application and the subjects that you pick in 11th, all of that depends on what you want to do in the future. And before I did MUNs and debates, I had no idea what I wanted to do in the future. But after I did started MUNs and debates, slowly, I started to realize that I'm really into international diplomacy and that I have a really big interest in law. And because of that, now I know that, okay, I know what subjects I want to take. I know what college major I want to apply to. So MUNs and debates, if you're unsure about your career path right now, if you're unsure about what you want to do in the future, try picking up a few debates on it. See if you like talking about it. After doing a multitude of debates, look at what topics you gravitate the most towards. Like I gravitated most towards topics related to economics and law. And that's what really enticed me. So I realized, oh, if I like debating about this the most, I might also like this as a career path as well. There's a really famous book called Ikigai, which talks about what your real purpose is. And if you want to find your Ikigai, which is very essential to your college application, you can only really get that through doing debates and MUNs, because unlike other extracurriculars, like let's say sports, when you do sports, you only do sports and you only know about sports. Or when you do research, you only do research and you only focus on research. Or when you're coding, you're only coding and you're focusing on coding something. But when you're doing debates and MUNs, you're focusing on so many different topics, whether that's hunger, whether that's economics, whether that's AI, whether that's principal debates, whether that's so many different things that you need to focus on MUNs and debates. So I highly implore that if you want to figure out what you want to do in the future, MUNing and debating is a great way to do that. It's a great way to understand what you want to do in the future. Now I'll start presenting my PPT, and I'll just take a quick stop if you guys have any questions or want to know more about this. Okay, sorry to say this at this session. Yeah, we expected to end by 7 o'clock max. Actually, I think it'll end even before that, and academic rigor is super important. So I'm really glad you're studying for your tests as well. All right, cool. Do any of you guys have any questions specifically of how you want to use it in your college application, or I'll just start talking about some specific points for you to note?
Can you repeat the name of the book which you mentioned?
Oh yeah, I mentioned a book. Okay, this is I really like reading, so I'll mention a book to you really quick. It's called Ikigai. Let me put the name in chat. It's called one second. I'll spell it. It's a Japanese book. It's called yeah. Yeah, it's a great book. And it basically talks about finding your deeper meaning. So if you guys have gone to any college counselor, your dream career path is like a Venn diagram. Okay, let me open a whiteboard so I can explain it better. Uh yeah. So, okay, I'm not getting a whiteboard right now, but think of it like a Venn diagram. Your dream career path is it aligns all to an ikigai. So when you think of your dream career path, there's three things to it. Firstly is how much money you're making. I know it sounds, a bit foolish, but a lot of us want to have good careers where we can sustain ourselves. So first is money. Second is passion. Do I really like this job? Even if I'm making $1 million a year, is it worth it for me to do a job that I absolutely hate? And then third is the longevity of it. So things like jobs that are not going to last in the future, like writing books by hand, that's not going to be a job in the future because we have printers. So it's the longevity of that job, the potential to make money, and also how much you like that job. And all of that summation comes into your ikigai. So it's something that gives you purpose, it's something that gives you life. And just so you know, in college apps, the main thing is that it doesn't matter how many extracurriculars you have. It matters what your central story is. See, everyone who's applying to colleges trying to do a million extracurriculars, but if all of them are unrelated, colleges know that you're only doing it for college applications. But colleges don't want that. They want to know that something that you're really really passionate about. It's better that you focus on one thing and make a huge impact on that than focusing on 10 different things that have no impact at all. So you have to find that core ikigai and kind of work towards that. And the best part is that debates and MUNs fit into any category. You want to be a healthcare professional? Okay, you're doing MUNs related to WHO, or you're doing debates related to public health policies. You wanted to be a coder? Okay, you're doing debates related to AI, or you're doing debates related to the future of computer networks and how much money we invest into them and stuff like public and private clouds. All of that really interlinks with your with you debating and MUNing. And I realized that I wanted to do economics and take that up in the future because I really love doing economic related debates. So that's really what comes up with ikigai. Yeah. Then someone asked, how do you think MUNs can help us in non-humanities careers? That's a really great question because I'm to ask because I'm frankly not a STEM student, but I know so many STEM students who are doing computer science who are now who did 50 MUNs and now they're in Stanford. I won't take the person's name, but he did over 50 MUNs. He won a lot of them. He started a debate club, but now he's doing computer science in Stanford. And the main thing is that MUNs and debates are so versatile. See, what is an MUN? An MUN is a model United Nations. And do the United Nations only focus on non-STEM related issues? No, they focus on STEM related issues as well. So my main tip for not like STEM students who want to incorporate MUNs as well, is that you should focus on MUNs that have STEM related stuff into them. So if there's an MUN, if you want to do computer science, go to an MUN that's talking about digital safety or cybersecurity. There are a few MUNs that come up on that. Or if you want to be a doctor, or if you want to go into the medical field, do an MUN related to the WHO, which is the World Health Organization. Talk about infectious diseases and stuff like that. A lot of these STEM related things can be incorporated into debates and of course MUNs as well. And if you focus on those specific fields, it will really help you in your STEM career. Yeah. The benefits of being a member in MUNs. I could go on for this forever because I love MUNing. I think it's like one of the best things that I've invested in my time in over the past year or so. I think the benefits is that firstly, you form a network of like-minded people. Right now, what us teenagers feel most is that everyone, I think a lot of people, I feel certain side of isolation, people who are just interested in doing things like that don't really matter, like just posting on their Insta feeds or just I don't know, going out and not really caring about the exams. And we all have people like that in our school. But what MUNing allows, firstly, is that you're able to network with people that you otherwise wouldn't be able to. A lot of the smartest people, a lot of the people who win MUNs are really smart, intellectual people. And if you become friends with them, you have a network around you, and you can start projects with them, or you can, do something with them. Maybe you can get a lifelong friend, but maybe that's someone who will help you a lot in the future. So that's one benefit of becoming an MUNer. Secondly, it teaches you lifelong skills like diplomacy, debating, being public speaking, writing, reading, like everything. And yeah, thanks for sticking around, Samedha. I hope to see you soon for other ones. And yeah, and I think lastly is that MUNing really just gives you perspective and is a really good extracurricular. Um, Colleges these days like Harvard and Yale are also holding their own MUNs right now. So it shows that there's interest in MUNing from colleges. So it's a great extracurricular. And the more you think about international relations, you just become a better global citizen that other people get to know more about. So I think those are just some benefits of MUNing. Just to name a lot, I really love doing MUNs. I love organizing them. I've organized MUNs before. Yeah.
Hi, sorry for interrupting. I'm Shreya, and then
Hi.
hello. I'm almost like attended almost like 5 months till now, and I want to know how like I've always end up getting what is this best not no cheap special mention, but I want to know like tips to like get to TP.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. So that's a really good question, Shreya. As someone, I'm not trying to like flex right now or anything, but as someone who's gotten best delegate before in Yale MUN and also above honorable mention in Harvard MUN, um, what separates like a honorable mention from a best delegate is two or three things. Firstly, if Abhinav, you could drop the link of our YouTube channel so Shreya can go check that out as well. I already did a few sessions on this in the past that talk about specifically why MUNs are good for like how to be a best delegate, what that separates for you. But the main thing is your involvement. If you're a co-leader of a block, you're more likely to be special mention. But if you're the leader of the block, if you're the one that everyone asks questions to, you're going to be best delegate. If you're the one who gave 4 speeches, you're going to be special mention. But if you're the one who gave 7 speeches, you're going to be best delegate. So the main thing that separates a special mention from a best delegate is their involvement and their confidence in things. If you're not willing to step up and to be the leader of the block, to have a few arguments but still be the person that everyone relies on, then you're not going to be best delegate, you're going to be special mention. So that's the number one thing that I would give, is that your involvement. See, the chair will see 100 people that day if you're in a normal committee, and for them to take like notes on 100 people, they won't be able to. They're going to take notes and going to really favor people who they see the most often. So I get super tired by the end of MUNs. But my number one tip is that you should never be bored in an MUN. You should never be sitting idle. You should always be doing something. You should be creating a crisis note. You should be creating your DR. You should be formulating plans. You should be networking. You should be trying to form a block. All of this you should be continuously doing in an MUN. And then second is that you should always be the leader of your block to win best delegate. And lastly, when you're doing presentations, you should always be part of the Q&A section. So when you're presenting your DR, you will have firstly presenting your DR and then the Q&A section. And from all the MUNs that I've been to, there's 100% success rate for best delegates who have been in the Q&A section. So if you get Q&A, if you're able to be the leader of a block confidently, and if you're able to confidently give really good speeches, that's what separates someone who's an honorable mention or a special mention to some, or a verbal commendation to someone who's a best delegate. I hope that answers your question, but please go and check out our YouTube channel. That really gives a lot of more
Yes.
information on this. Yeah. Um,
What's your sorry? What committee do you mostly prefer?
Okay, yeah, I I'm a crisis committee person at heart, but crisis committees are for more advanced delegates. And I think if it's your first 5 months, you shouldn't really aim for crises, because crises require a lot more research and a lot more headache. I think if you want to do well in a starting MUN, you should take a general assembly, but a smaller general assembly. So if it's something like World Conference of Women or WHO or something, or ECOFIN, so avoiding DISEC and avoiding like the biggest committees, trying to go to general assembly but smaller general assemblies, that would be my number one tip for beginner MUNs who still want to get awards, because those committees, you have a higher chance. Because in DISEC, there's going to be like 200 people, but in a WHO or World Conference of Women, there's going to be like 70 or 60. So your chances of winning increase while still being a General Assembly. Yeah. All right. Actually, I just started to write my second book. Okay, that's really cool. I got help from a US friend to okay, that's really great. I think that's a great extracurricular for you to have. Yeah. Anyone else has any other questions or any specific tips on how to do MUNs or debates? Want to talk about something else? Or I'll just give you guys a few rapid fire final tips and then we can end the session. So Drishti, Vihan, I know you just joined. We will have the recording up on YouTube. But yeah. Yeah, Drishti, go ahead.
Yeah, right. So I have only attended one MUN till now. Okay. And then that was BMUN, with your Model United Nations. It was in Bangalore this year. So there I learned how to do research and all, but then the thing is I take a lot of time for my research work. So how can I reduce it? Like I've seen people just do research within like 20 minutes for debates and then they say
Yeah.
such a wonderful thing.
So to put it in the nicest way, the reason why people who do 20 minutes of research and still win is that besides your position paper, your research does not matter that much. And let me tell you why. A lot of times, except if you're with a really experienced chair, like in a crisis committee in a general assembly, saying a few generic statistics and just having a general overview of your country's policy is enough. If you go a lot in depth in your research, but you don't show that research, research doesn't really matter if you don't know how to convey that research properly in your DR, or if you're the head of your DR and you're writing a lot of policies on it. So my number one tip for reducing your time on research is to first get an overview of your country. So feel of your country, you go to this is something, I'll put the link in chat. It's called a CIA fact book. So go to CIA fact book and then just check out your country. Check out the history, this, who are your allies, who are not so much your allies. See what your diplomatic relations are, how much your population is, and after that, your background guide will give specific questions for you to research on. So just read through your background guide and research on those specific questions, and that's it. I know that and a lot of times it feels really disheartening that I put in so much research for this. I spent so much time finding these statistics and these random obscure policies, and I still didn't get best tell. But the main thing for MUNs is that it's not just a research based competition. It's your public relations, diplomacy, debating competition. So the main way is that you do this set of research, but incorporate it into your speeches, use it in your draft resolution, and most importantly, use it in your position paper. That's where your research can really shine. But besides that, in an MUN, I know it's just your first one, so you'll get the hang of it. I'm totally sure about that. The main thing you'll realize is that the people who win MUNs are good speakers, people who can improve their communication, who take charge and are leaders. No matter how good your research is, if it doesn't come apart with public speaking and leadership, you're not going to win an MUN. Okay, how to improve our
Thank you.
yeah, no problem. How to improve our communication skills? Practice. That's literally all I can say, is just practice. I don't think anyone is there who's just born with god gifted communication skills. The main way you can improve your communication is simply through practice. How do you practice? There are a couple of ways. Firstly, is to make mock MUNs for yourself and do them yourself. And secondly, I think a really good tool that we have at the Teen Debater, if Abhinav, you could put the link of our Discord channel. Yeah, so the one main way is that you can join our Discord, and we host daily debates every single day. So join one of our daily debates and just practice debating, practice speaking. And if you do it 5 times, if you do it 10 times, if you do it 15 times, by the end, you're gonna improve your communication skills. If you can't just sit in your room alone and expect your communication to get better. Secondly is like record speeches. So before doing an MUN, when you have your GSL, my main way for being good at GSL is I record my GSL speech. I send it to a couple of friends like, hey, this is my GSL speech. What do you guys think? Because I have a good community of MUNers around me, and they give me feedback on it, and I record more speeches, and then that's how I practice. Yeah, that's one way that you can really improve, is just practice, 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 do it every day, and you're going to get better at it. There's no easy way out on this. Yeah, then Vihan said, if you analyze the particular statement in your speech, then you can get points even with less research. That's completely true. Yeah, of course, it's just your main communication skills. But yeah, research should be sprinkled in. It shouldn't be the heart of your MUN. How to do a presentation without any fear? This is a hard question to answer because I'm an introvert at heart. I think I'm good at communication, but I'm still introverted. I still like being alone, being in my room, being in my own space. A lot of people are too much. I get kind of overwhelmed. So I can understand totally why you feel fearful. The main thing that you need to tell yourself is that if you have fear, you're going to lose. So if you're fearful of MUNs, if you fear, what if I mess up? What if I do this? If you let that fear control you, you're gonna lose. The main way that I give my pep talk is that if I'm not gonna be 100% believing in myself, I'm going to lose an MUN. Like, look at all diplomats around the world. The diplomats saying the most outlandish stuff ever, the most crazy stuff. Like, what are they talking about? Are still the most confident people, and that's how they get supporters. Like Trump, just to take an example, regardless of my political views on him, you have to agree that the one reason that he won the election is because he's such a great speaker. Even though Trump doesn't have any statistics or research that he gives, he's just such a good communicator that people listen to him. And of course, Trump, even though he says stuff that is incorrect all of the time, he says it so confidently that people believe him. So if you just need to say that no matter what, I'm going to win, I'm going to win. If you keep affirming that to yourself, that I'm going to be the best speech out there, you're going to be the best speech out there. So you just need to tell yourself that if you're fearful, you're gonna lose, and if you don't have fear, you're gonna win. And the main thing about MUNs is that you need to believe that you're going to win that MUN. Um, if you're doubtful, if you're kind of scared in MUN, if you're kind of siding with different people, if you take other people take the lead, you're not going to win. MUNers and the people who win MUNs are leaders. There are people who are confident. There are people who always believe in themselves and then believe in others. So yeah, um, I'll just take this last point from Surya and then I'll just conclude with a few final tips. Yeah, wait 1 second. Let me just drink water. Yeah, actually, yesterday I was given a presentation for my project, but I had a little feel I wasn't able to get to the next point. How can I overcome easily if practice only makes perfect? You can't overcome it easily. You have to take the hard way out. Practice does make perfect. But you just need to believe in yourself. The only reason you feel fearful is because you don't believe that you can truly do it. And I believe in you, and I think our whole community believes in you. So you need to really believe in yourself that you can do something. Otherwise, you're not going to be able to do it. If you think that I can't climb Mount Everest, obviously you can't climb Mount Everest. But if you keep telling yourself, no, if I practice, if I train hard, I'll be able to climb Mount Everest someday. Even though Mount Everest is the tallest mountain on the world, you can still do it. Like, anyone who's climbed Mount Everest before obviously believed that they could do it. There's not someone who didn't believe that in themselves and climb such a huge mountain. So that just applies for everything in general. Um, Lastly, just to give a few final summation thoughts, thank you so much for joining the session. Thank you to Abhinav also for helping me out and dropping links in the chat. The last thing that I would say for debating and MUNing is that it's really something that you should invest a lot of time in. There's no easy way out for debating and MUNing. There's no way that, oh, do these 5 tips in one day and you'll be your best delegate. There's no way that will happen. So the only way that you can really be good at MUNing and debating is that if you put in that practice every day, if you read the news every day, if you follow in the Teen Debater, join our daily debates, check out our resources, talk with other MUNers, form practices and coalitions and do debates. That's the only way you'll really get good at it ever. So yeah, I really hope you guys, focus a lot on putting in the practice. I'm not saying this to scare you guys. I'm just saying the honest truth because I do want you guys to succeed. But I totally believe that you can do it. And I totally have trust and faith in you all. Besides college, if you do MUNs because you like them, you'll automatically get good at them. So start liking MUNs, start liking debates. I do MUNs not just for college, but just because I genuinely find them so fun. So yeah, go ahead and do that, and I think you all will be set. Thank you so much for joining this session. Um, and also for your really insightful questions. I think everyone who's watching through YouTube also will get a great idea of how to do sessions after watching this little presentation of ours. Yeah, Surya, I guess we'll just end with one last question.
Can you resend the Discord link for group joining, please?
Yeah, Abhinav just sent that. Wait, let me just Send it again. Yeah, he sent it again. Yeah, thanks, Abhinav. So he's just sent that right now. You can join our Discord channel. We do daily debates, we do daily news. We have a lot of things going on in Discord that we're currently talking about. A lot of really experienced debaters and MUNers who are willing to give advice and kind of discuss on competitions. So that's a really good thing. Thank you so much, and see you all in another session, maybe hosted by me, maybe hosted by someone else. And yeah, please stay updated on our Instagram and all of our channels and all of that. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.